I got new chains to go get, man. I just been in the studio, but I got a couple new pieces I'm getting ready to pick up. So you know what I'm saying? This the old set. This the broken a minute Jerry Sprunger set. You know what I'm saying? I need a whole new set for Nicki and you know all that. You feel me?
Hell yeah, it's that time. Mr. Do we have a problem? The wrist is crazy. Everything's looking great. And he's saying it's the old stuff. So what people got some catching up to do?
Nah, we just cooling, man. We cooling, man.
Yeah, but Mr. Do we have a problem? Mr. #1 trending on YouTube, #1 on iTunes, #1 on what else did we say before?
Oh, YouTube,
iTunes, Apple, it's going crazy, but you already know what's going on. Papi Yerr in the building, the big goat, my guy. What's going on?
Papi Yerr.
It's popping. We here.
Hell yeah. The producer room powered by producer culture. Too excited to get into this one, but man, oh man, I mean, we could address the elephant in the room first. Do we have a problem? Nicki Minaj, Lil Baby, out now, going crazy.
Shout out. First off, I just want to shout out Nicki Minaj because as a producer, to me, she's done so much genuine things for me. Like #1, she kept my tag in the beat. And all y'all producers, y'all know how big that is for us and our branding, you know what I'm saying? Because artists leave but producers out, like, you know what I mean? And I don't know if it's intentional, but shout out to Nicki. She left my tag in the beat. She shouted me out on her live.
Papi Yerr. Papi Yerr, you better brush your motherfucking shoulders off, nigga. You did the fuck out that beat, nigga. Yeah.
She, you know, responded back in my comments. Like, it's just, she's just so lit to me. And I just got so much love and respect for Nicki Minaj, especially just her being an icon and a legend in the game and just reaching back and just showing someone like me some love. Like, I have so much respect for her. And she's just a movie, man. Mad love for you, Nicki.
Oh yeah, man, it's been crazy. I just seen the shout out. She goes, man, Papi Yerr, you produced the out of that beat, brush your shoulders off in time. I was like, bro, how are you feeling when you saw her just talking directly to you like that? All the people in the live, like,
I was just kind of like, bro, like, I don't know. It just kind of threw me off because I didn't expect that, you know, but she just real, you know. She actually, before, like, when she announced the record, like, she actually personally hit me and she hit me and sent me a message, just, you know, just saying like how talented I am. And, you know, just it was just really organic and authentic and genuine. And, you know, I was just blown away. Like, to be honest, I was just super humbled. And it just gave me just a lot of confidence. And, you know, it just made me just feel really good. And I gained a lot of respect for her just during this whole rollout process because, you know, she just, I don't know, I just feel like she's just an amazing creative place. You know, she's just already cemented herself as an icon in the game. She has one of the biggest, or one of the biggest fan bases. And, you know, we making some incredible music right now. And obviously, you know, we got Lil Baby on the record. She put that together and she did it on my beat. So, and, you know, she didn't even have to, because they already had they had another Lil Baby record and they heard my record, my beat, and they was like, nah, this is crazy. So I just have the utmost respect and just love for Nicki and the whole fan base. Like, and her fan base has been showing me massive amounts of love, like on Twitter and on Instagram. It's crazy. So,
man. Yeah, shout out the Barbs, man. Shout out the Barbs, one of the craziest fan bases in music. It's too crazy.
Shout out to them, man, for real.
Shout out to the Barbs. But yeah, you kind of spoke earlier to, you know, there was already a record in place. I know for anybody who's watched the music video now, it's currently #1 trending on YouTube. They actually teased it looks like there might be another song with the two of them at the end that they tease quickly, but you spoke to something was already done and something was already in the works. They heard your beat, whatever, but what's kind of like the story? Like, how did you even get in that position for your beat to be heard in the first place? Because, you know, people can't just send beats to Nicki, obviously. Like,
Yeah, you
what's the
just
whole kind of backstory to how you like
too iconic. Like she's too iconic. You can't just, you know what I mean? But she's also so real. You actually can. But the way it happened for me is so I signed with Sony Pub in 2020. Shout out Sony, man. They're amazing pub company. And Ian Holder, the senior vice president. First of all, what made me even sign with Sony is, you know, when I dropped Jerry Sprunger, I was like in a bidding war between all the major pub companies, Universal, Warner, Sony, Ultra, and there was a few others. And what made me go with Sony is Ian Holder flew out to LA. I was working with Tory. We had this crazy mansion in LA. And I was working with Tory, and he came out there, like literally in one of my studio sessions with him. And he literally just talked to me for like an hour and some change. And just about, you know, we just had a convo. And then he flew back to New York. He flew from New York to LA, and he flew back the same night. Like he left the studio and got back on another flight. I'm like, what? You did that just to talk to me? I was like, I never seen none of that. Like, you know, like everyone else just kind of just seemed like, I don't know, it just didn't really seem as genuine until like I came across him. And obviously they gave the best bag. So I was rocking with them, and instantly when I signed with them, they put me with a bunch of other dope creatives. And there was an artist, writer, producer by the name of Tate Cole. And first time we got in the studio, we did like 12 records. Boom, 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 just banged them out. And at the time, like I think one of the last records, we were like, yo, we're gonna give this to Nicki. And that wasn't even the Do We Have a Problem record, but we were just kind of already thinking that. And he ended up developing a great relationship with her. And me and him, we already had a good relationship. And, you know, I'd be on my Instagram just playing beats on my story. And he was just like, yo, bro, send me this one. I was like, all right. And then he ended up just playing for Nicki. And then she was like, yo, this is crazy. And I think Nicki played it for P from QC. And then they all went crazy. And then they sent it to Baby. And then Baby just did it like that. Man. And then Nicki's team hit me back immediately. And then shortly after that, Nicki personally hit me. She was just like, oh, you're just super talented. And I'm just like, yo, this is crazy. Yeah. And that's how the record came together. But the record really started, the conception of working with Nicki started in 2020. The actual beat was done in September. And then their verses were recorded in November. So this is literally a year and a half like process.
Yeah, you spoke to too many good points right there. But I mean, yeah, first, I think it's kind of cool how you broke down your kind of like option weighing process as far as the pub stuff goes. And I think you kind of made a good point. Like, you know, you ended up going with the company, but you really ended up going because of a specific person and a genuine relationship. And correct me if I'm.
And that's it. It's genuine. Even with you, our relationship is just genuine. Like for me, I'm not really big on names and who you are. It's just, bro, I just care about like how we treat and respect each other. Because at the end of the day, you know, you could be nobody today, and tomorrow you could have the next Michael Jackson Thriller album, or you could be the next Post Malone, or you could be the next, you know, Kanye West or Metro Boomin, whoever, you know. But it's not really about what your status is. It's just about how we genuinely interact with each other. And, you know, if I get good vibes and, you know, it's just genuine and organic, like I'll really rock with you no matter who you are. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that was the relationship I have with you. That was the relationship I have with Tate. And that's the relationship I have with Nicki right now. She's just so genuine and just organic and just real. Like, it's just, you know.
Yeah, the other thing that kind of strikes out to me, now I appreciate all that first and foremost. Let me say that first. But the other thing that sticks out to me too, just about kind of hearing, obviously from the outside looking in, your process of how it all came together is like, she really made you feel like you were a part of it and a part of the whole process and kept you updated and everything, which is super dope. Like, I feel like a lot of other times, like, and this goes to when like the artist manager is really in the driver's seat or the label or whatever. They won't even tell the producer like if there's a feature, if there's a big feature, whatever. They'll kind of keep it in the tuck or whatever, because they might get worried that the producer's gonna like jack up the beat fee or things like that. But she, like you said, she just kept it genuine, and you knew what was going on the whole time, which is just incredible.
Yeah, and it was just like, and a lot of times, like, I feel like the producers really don't even get that love, that relationship, that, you know what I mean? And everything was just 100, down to the business, down to everything. Like, everything was just so smooth. And it's, it goes to show why, artists like Nicki Minaj has had a 10, 11, 12, 13-year reign of success. It's because of those little things that you may not even see on the front. It's because of what's going on behind the scenes. Why does she even have a fan base that's so big like that? Like, it's because of those little details, like, and that is what gives an artist, a producer, that success. Even with myself, I'm just such a laid back, cool guy, and I try to just be genuine with everyone, bro. And that's why, like, my blessings are just out of control. I'm not even a guy, like, I don't even send, like, I know producers that send hundreds of beat packs, and I don't even do that, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't even send beat packs and stuff like that. I just build genuine relationships with people that I really rock with, and our relationships get so good that, it's a direct connection. It's a direct thing,
Man. Yeah, I mean, watching the ascension has been crazy. Like, I definitely want to dig more into the Tory stuff too. You mentioned, Broken a Minute and Jerry Sprunger, and a bunch of countless hits that you guys got with him. You guys is a duo that's crazy for sure. But yeah, it got to this point. It got to, hits with Tory, etc. But obviously it wasn't like that, from the beginning. Like, where's Papi Yerr from? Like, how did music first enter your life, and what was kind of like that beginning times that like led you into producing in the first place?
So I was born in Boston. I moved to the West Virginia area around like grade school, and then I ended up moving. I graduated high school early, and I graduated high school early and moved to Miami by myself at 17. At 17, I started college, graduated. And when I was in college, I was introduced to Tory before he blew up by a mutual friend that he grew up with. And when I met him, I played him my beats, and he actually didn't like them at all. And it's kind of funny. He didn't really like him at all. And what happened was I got into this relationship with this baddie. She broke my heart. I started writing music. And it wasn't even writing music. I started inventing on my own beats. And I started like coming up with hooks and melodies. And they actually started sounding really good. And to the point that my boy who introduced me and Tory years later, he sent him those songs, with those ideas and melodies and hooks with my voice on it. And Tory was just so impressed and blown away that he couldn't even believe it was me, you know what I'm saying, from these years ago, like, and it was like during the time of, 2017, like when he was just first breaking out. He had his first couple of hits, and I was just around for probably like almost 3 years, just picking up game and just coming to the studio. And there was many times I come to the studio and I don't even get to play any beats, but I just took notes. I watched him. I watched how he was doing business. I watched how he was moving as an artist. I watched his work ethic. And I just took notes, and I applied that to my own lifestyle. And it allowed me to realize that having this massive level of success isn't like far-fetched or impossible. It's just the little things you do every day. It's the relationships, it's the work ethic, it's leverage, it's being able to put everything together. And then it's also being able to see it up close and know that it's possible. and I was able to see it. And, you know, when the time was right, you know, I seen he was working on the Chicks tape. I had missed a few albums he was on, you know. I just really wanted to be on those projects, but, you know, it just timing and the beats weren't right. And then I got my shot with Jerry Sprunger, which was the first song that he recorded for the Chicks Tape 5. And it ended up being the lead single and the biggest record, and, you know, ended up going, you know, top 10 on the R&B charts, #1 on Apple Music, platinum, you know, and that was that. And then I did another song on the album called The Take by Chris Brown that ended up getting platinum and going viral on TikTok. And, you know, so while that was going on, that's when I started getting the calls from the publishing companies. And while we were going through this bidding war, I dropped a whole nother hit, and that was Broken a Minute. And then from there, it was just like everything just blew up. Like, you know, Diddy's on quarantine radio saying it's his favorite song. Swiss Beats is hitting me like, yo, we playing this in the crib. Like, you know, it's just like life just started just moving so fast, like, you know. Crazy. And that was just like really the blow up of everything. And, you know, that all led to this moment working with Nicki, you know what I'm saying? Obviously putting in all that work and capturing the attention of certain people who then now have great relationships with her, and just building relationships with them as well, you know. And it's just interesting, you know, because a lot of people just think you get these big placements by just you send a beat email and then they just randomly open it, you know. That placement came together because an artist she's, you know, working with, artist and producer she's working with, I just grew a great relationship with him before he even had any big records, you know. And you know, one thing I could say as a producer, or, you know, you're gonna get that hit record, like, still keep it humble, bro, and take those sessions with those hungry writers and hungry producers and hungry artists, because they could be that person that is the catalyst for your next hit record, you know. And that's who Take Coat, you know. He's an artist that's getting ready to really blow up, and, you know, Nicki's pushing him, and I got really, really good and close to him, even when he had no hits, and he ended up doing like huge records. Like he did the Drake and 21 record. He was a writer on that, and a few more like huge records. And you know, when I started working with him, you know, they just put me in the studio, and I just put up, and we kind of created a great relationship. Like, you know, and that was,
it's building blocks to everything too. Like, you know, one move has something to do with the next move, has something to do with the next move. It's crazy. But no, I just wanted to echo your point. I really couldn't agree more to, you know, you got to keep working after you get, you know, the bag on a big publishing deal, or after you get the big single, or you get the big single that leads to the bag. Because so oftentimes, like, you know, it could just kind of like get swifted around quick if you think you're gonna, you know, use this money and chill for a month or two. Like, I feel like it's kind of easy to accidentally, you know, take yourself off the path or whatever. But you spoke to, like, you know, just doing something every day to make sure. And that's kind of like how I, you know, whether someone wants to be the biggest producer in the world, artist, person, you know, behind the scenes in the business, whatever, I always think like, if I can do something to get closer to that every day, whether it's a step today that gets me a big step, or it's a step today that's small, as long as it gets me closer, I feel like that day's a success for sure.
100%. I feel the same way. It's just those little things you do every day to add up. You know, a lot of people just think it's that big move. It's really not. It's just the little things that get you to that big move.
Yeah, the little moves snowball into big moves. That's what everybody's got to realize. Like,
and you know, it's about patience, man. Just trust. You gotta trust God, trust yourself, and just know, like, it's gonna come together when it's in the right time.
Yeah, most definitely. One other thing I want to say was that's such a just an interesting time. that like early COVID quarantine radio, Tory time, etc. I remember before that, that's when you and I locked in. I want to say Ronnie J locked us in, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, he might have.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think that's how we locked in, bro. I can't even remember. It's been so long now.
Ronnie's that guy, man. You know, me and like Ronnie's like one of my closest friends. We literally grew up together here in Miami as like kids. Like I met him, we met when we were 18, and like, you know, we were both couch to couch. Like I was on his couch, he was on my floor. You know, he introduced me to X. I did 2 records with X because of him. So he actually got me my first actual placement with a label, which was a single for him when he was doing his artist thing with Atlantic. So before I ever had anything, like, you know, me would get these records with X, and then I produced a single for him. And then I wrote on a single. I actually was a writer. I'm a writer too. I actually wrote the single with him and X. So shout out to Ronnie, man. You know, he was also a big inspiration on why I felt like I could be, it was possible, you know. I remember just him sleeping on my floor, and then the next minute he got this hit with Denzel, and then the next minute he got a hit with Bad Baby, and then the next minute he's here and there, and I'm just like, whoa, like I just literally watched him blow up. So
yeah, Ronnie's one of those guys, man. Ronnie, I gotta give the ultimate salute to Ronnie, the ultimate respect. He's helped me with a lot of Ronnie's actually, none of these studios are like fully done yet. They're getting close though, but Ronnie and I actually had a crazy session in here a few months back, and like, man, like, you know, you put he could like take the idea that you have in your mind and like make it like so seamlessly. It's kind of crazy. He's that guy, man.
100%.
He's that guy, man. But we've been speaking to the Nicki placement a lot, and also just how real she always kept it with showing the love for you as a producer. You've actually been blessed with that twice too, because I remember Tory would always bring you in on the quarantine radio, always shout you out, always make sure everybody knew that, you know, you were the guy, you know, the tag, da 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 da, Papi Yerr, what's going, like he would always do it. I mean, just kind of speak to like how it felt. You've had a lot of like first with Tory, because you know, you knew him, but you didn't have any songs. You got your first song with him, you got your first plaques with him, you got your first #1s on this, that, and the third. Like, speak to just locking in with him and how that working relationship has been throughout the years.
It's just been a blessing, you know. He was a person that really just, it's crazy because he really discovered me as an artist. Like, you know, he was just like, bro, you could be an artist, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And just being around him, I just was like, you know, let me just do everything I can do too, you know. I'll do the artist thing, and then, bro, I got some beats, what's up? It was just like that, like, you know what I mean? And we just be pulling up to the studio, and then, you know, I didn't expect none of this, to be honest. You know what I mean? Not the way it's happening. Like, you don't know what you know, what a hit is gonna be. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you don't know when it's gonna come. You don't know how it's gonna come. So when you're working, you're just hustling, working, just, you know, for me, when I first started making beats, I got into making beats and shifted from the artistry and focused more on making beats because I was broke. And I was just wanting the upfront advance fees from making the beats. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I could get a couple racks from making this beat. let me get them in. And then I was introduced to publishing and this and that and all these ancillary ways of receiving profits and revenue from producing. And, you know, that was just a game changer for me. But it's definitely been a blessing just working with Tory and putting these back-to-back, you know, massive records together, like in different genres too. You know, Jerry Sprunger is a radio hit. The Take with Chris Brown is a R&B hit, and Broken a Minute is a club banger.
Club banger.
So it really shows his versatility as an artist, and also it's allowed me to show my versatility as a producer, to not be a one-trick pony. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I could easily just tap into any bag that I needs to be. Like, oh, we're doing the samples with the R&B, let's do it. Oh, we doing the club bangers, oh, let's do it. Oh, we doing the radio hits, oh, let's do it. We even have a Spanish record with Nicky Jam, that I produced, a real Spanish record. And, for me as a producer, I've always wanted to just be a versatile producer, and that's, if you go on my Instagram, you'll see me playing the guitar, you'll see me playing the piano, you know what I mean? And it's just really who I am. I grew up playing various instruments. And when I get in the studio, I challenge myself, I get so bored with music. You know what I mean? Sometimes even my own music I get bored with. So I started like last year, 2021. I think it was 2020. I started just going to the studio and picking up the guitar, and then I learned how to play the guitar. You know what I'm saying? My boy, Lemonade Playboy, he's a guitarist. And like, I'll be like, bro, let me get a guitar. And I just started messing around, and I started getting better and better and better. And that's it. Like, you know what I mean? You give me a guitar, I could come up with some melodies for sure. And that's just because I'm just constantly challenging myself. I don't ever want to be put in a box. I'm getting so many calls from different executives and A&Rs and with so many different artists. And I know how to, if I need to get in a session with Ariana Grande, I know I can tap into that bag. If I need to get in a session with Summer Walker, I know I can get into that Summer Walker bag. You know what I'm saying? If I need to get in a session with Lil Baby, I can get in that bag. If I gotta go in a session with Nicky Jam or Bad Bunny, I can get into that bag because I've made myself diversified in my musical experiences. So I think that's huge as a producer, never become a one-trick pony. You wanna be able to, when you get that opportunity, you get those hit records, they're gonna get opportunities that you've never gotten before. And you wanna be prepared musically to take on those tasks. And that's how you see the Timberlands, the Scott Storches, the Swiss Beatses, the Mike Will Made It's, the Metro Boomins. That's how you see them get these hits in different categories,
Absolutely. Yeah, they're always ready, and they've been, good about diversifying their sound and making sure they're ready. I mean, that speaks to timing too, but I love that you said that, and you even almost kind of challenge producers to, getting different things. Because even with the up and coming producer world, like people say, oh, I don't do drums, I just make loops, or oh, someone's got to send me loops because I only do the drums or whatever. It's like you're so many steps even beyond that, which just speaks to being always ready. But we got to highlight one thing. Everybody listening, this man Papi Yerr is good. He knows exactly what he's talking about. He said the key when he started getting around Tory and learning about publishing and stuff, ancillary income. A lot of people don't know about ancillary income and just having those different streams, but I'll say that to say, I don't ask everybody, but even you throwing that out there extremely smooth and casually, like it's nothing. At what point did you know, like, all right, in the beginning, that's fine. You're getting going. Sell this beat, couple thousand. But at what point did you really like make it your business to make sure you knew the business? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I remember I produced this record, Jerry Sprunger, and it shot to #1 on Apple Music. And as soon as that happened, I got different publishing companies. It started off with smaller ones, but they were throwing numbers I'd never seen before. Numbers I never seen with music before, because that was my first hit. And then I moved on to bigger companies and bigger publishing companies, and they started throwing bigger numbers. And as soon as that happened, I just started researching and started understanding the different revenue streams and the potentials and the possibilities. And now at that point, it turned into a real business.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like, okay, let me just make beats and blah, blah, blah. Now this is a business, bro. And that's when I started researching ancillary incomes and different forms and different streams, and understanding the importance of publishing, understanding the importance of percentages in a song. Because you can have a hit record, but if you have 1% of a #1 record, that's like, it's not the same as having 20% of a top 40 record. Like, you know what I mean? It's there's so many different things that play into these things. And I just made it my business to understand, shout out Brittany Trigg, my lawyer. She's phenomenal. We'll sit and talk for an hour just on just business. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, and speak to this too. Like, bro, what is your phone like these past 24 hours? Like,
Bro, I love these moments, and with these moments, I try to share with everybody that I really care about, and everybody that cares about me. So when I have these moments where I get these big records that I've had like a few times in my career, in my young career, it's like everybody's excited. From my parents to my little brother to my little homies to all the people I talk to in a day-to-day. It's just like it's like on these days, I don't sleep. I'm going on 2 hours of sleep. You know what I mean? And my phone is just constant. Every time I put my phone up, it's just ringing, tweets, Instagram calls, text, tweets, Instagram calls. And it's just, it's fun because it's not just about me. It's just about everybody that's inspired. You know what I'm saying? Like my little brother, we had a good conversation today, and he just like, bro, like you really did it. Like you really inspire me now to make me get on my, like, figure out what my purpose and, and read books and figure out what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? Because the moment is so big that everybody in proximity with you, it feels it. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody in proximity of you feels the impact because everybody benefits from it, because now you make everybody else's value go up just from their association with you. So it's just inspiring, bro. Like, and it's a good feeling. And, my phone has just been nonstop. And I try to just, everyone that calls, I just try to just share that moment with them too, because everybody's excited. It's just genuine love. So I'm just haven't really been sleeping.
No, I know. Yeah, but it's just been, and I got the cold hard facts to back it up. Like Papi Yerr is too real. Like we always did a good job of staying in touch throughout the years, sending each other just sending good energy your way, text, whatever, even just talking when there's nothing to talk about, just keeping them. But you even just circling back, I'm so appreciative when I hit you when something like, this big came out. A lot of people definitely go Hollywood, and, you spoke to always staying humble earlier. So we just appreciate it so much. Great hearing the background of how the song came together.
And I got to touch on that because it's like
Yeah,
the biggest thing, man. And one thing I learned in life, bro, is like always remain humble, bro, because you never know who's going to make it. You never know who you're going to need on your way up, and you never know who you're going to need on your way down. So just always just be grateful and stay humble, bro. You're going to be more blessed, and you're going to just be able to leverage so much more when you're just humble, bro. When nobody got to bring you down and you just where you are, bro, it's just like all anyone could do is bring you up. That's why it's like, Tate, you just seen him call me. I'm so excited because it's just like we really came up together from, we really, reached new levels together from bottom up. You know what I'm saying? So it's just staying humble is such a big, I'm really big on that.
we did it, man. It's so awesome to see, even just from the outside looking in. It's crazy. But I guess in closing, there's a lot of young, hungry, up and coming producers, who are tuned into the platform, the producer room powered by producer culture. What's kind of some advice you would give the kids who are just trying to get a hit so bad and they're just chasing it, and kind of advice for them to stay the course, and maybe something you wish a younger Papi Yerr knew that you know now, like what's kind of like that one sound piece of advice you would give the the younger generation?
I mean, for me, it's like, number one, I just trust God, because God controls everything, whether we understand it or not. He controls everything. So when you trust him and you move with his timing, like, you're always going to be blessed. Number two, everything is about timing. You could have, as a producer, you could have 10 diamond records or 10 platinum records or 10 hit records. You have to know it's just about your time. It's not about, sometimes it's not even about the record itself. It's just about the time of the record, the timing of it. And just got to just be focused and just when your time is called, be ready. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of people get opportunities, but in order to know an opportunity, you got to be prepared and understand that it's actually an opportunity, you know? And you also have to know and be ready for when your time and when it's ready for you to get in the game. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are in the NBA, but everybody isn't doing LeBron numbers. You know, it's 10 people that get to play the game when it's during the NBA game. Everybody's not putting up 40. There's people that go in the game, play 30 minutes, only put 10 points up, or maybe 2 points up, or no points at all. Some people get the opportunity and they're not prepared. They're not putting in the work. They're not making beats every day. They're not leveraging their relationships. They're not studying the charts. They're not looking at what's hot and studying and analyzing. Like, you know, there's a lot of things I do outside of music that brought me to this point. And, you know, that's a whole different, you know, conversation on analytics and, you know, deeper things, you know what I'm saying? But it's the little things, bro. It's the little things that add up to the big move, bro. For me, it was never a big move. You know, before I got my first record with Tory, I was around him for 3 years, 2017, 2018, and 2019. You know, it wasn't like, oh, hey, Tory, here's Broken a Minute. You know what I mean? It took a lot. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of coming to the studio, a lot of traveling, a lot of just time spent building, you know. When you're on that path to greatness, it's never going to be a straightforward road. And if it is, be very cautious, because in this game, nothing is straightforward. You're going to go through ups, downs, peaks, valleys, and it's just about staying humble, trusting God, being patient, being disciplined, and staying focused.
Man, 100%. And ain't that the truth? Like, if it's an easy, straightforward path, it's probably a scam. It's probably a scam, but nah, so much good information here. You know, I always try to, you know, keep everybody educated, up to date with what's going on, but, you know, so much good sound advice from Papi Yerr in this one. His delivery might be a little more, you know, smoother than mine, because, you know, it's smooth, but no, we appreciate it big time, man. The producer room, powered by producer culture.
Shout out producer culture, producer room. Shout out you. Shout out everybody.
Man, shout out to Papi Yerr. We appreciate it big
Shout
time.
out Nicki Minaj, man. I love you, Nicki.
Shout out to Barbs.
Baby. Shout out to the whole, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah. Nah, but we appreciate it so much. The producer room, powered by producer culture. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you let us know who you want to see next. Say like Mr. Number One, Mr. Do We Have a Problem right here? You just might get it. We appreciate it so much.
For sure. Love, bro.